Hey there, Heather Ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to the 2021-22 Stone Gold Hockey Tournament, which all 32 teams are involved and randomly selected. So we have 16 matchups. We have Philadelphia versus Vegas, San Jose versus Minnesota, Tampa versus Ottawa, New Jersey versus the Rangers. Man, those guys like each other. Islanders for Blackhawks, Edmonton, Dallas, Toronto, Winnipeg, Washington, Carolina, Buffalo, LA, Boston, Calgary, Anaheim, Columbus, Pittsburgh, Nashville, Colorado, St. Louis, Vancouver, Florida, Montreal, Detroit, and Seattle, Arizona. It's simple. Best of 5 first round. And then it will be a best of... What did I say? Best of 5, right? Yeah, so what happens, it'll be a best of 5 first round, best of 5 second round, best of 5 quarterfinals, and then the semis and final will be best of 7 to make it tumultuous. So anyway, game 1 of this series, Philly-Vegas. Vegas starts off in Philly and wins 2-1 as Carter Hart loses to Robin Lehner. Vegas goals by Alex Pietrangelo and Braden McNabb. JVR, James Van Riemsdyk for Philly. San Jose, Minnesota starts off with the Sharks winning 4-3 as Stalock beats Cam Talbot. Sharks goals by Kevin LeBanc. Redbirds, Matt Nieto and Thomas Hertl. Minnesota goes by Freddie Gaudreau, Max Zuccarello, and Ryan Hartman, sorry. Tampa, Ottawa, the Sens lose in overtime. Vasilevsky beats Anton Forsberg. Zach Bogosian scored in regulation. Tyler Ennis for Ottawa, but Tampa got a goal by Killorn from Braden Point in overtime at 8:16. They could have lost. Corey Perry was in the box for roughing at one time. Rangers beat the Devils 4-1. Shesterkin beats Dawes. Devils only goal by Jesper Bratt. What a brat. Anthony Panarin, Kevin Rooney, Ryan Strome, and Chris Kreider with goals for the Rangers. Islanders Chicago, game 1 sees the Blackhawks win 3-1. Lankinen beats Sorokin. Big win for Chicago. Islanders goal by Brock Nelson. Chicago goals by Kirby Dach, Martin Ernst Whistle, and Seth Jones. Edmonton Dallas starts off with Edmonton losing 3-2 as Koskinen lost to Wedgwood. Edmonton goals by Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman. Dallas goals by Ruby Hintz, Lauren Glendetti, and JB Ben. Toronto, how did they do? They won game 1 at home 4-3 as Mrazek beat Comrie. Winnipeg goals by Harkins, Wheeler, and Dubois. Dubois. Toronto goals by Austin Matthews, of course. Mikhailov and Michael Bunting with 2. He bunted a pair of goals in Washington, Carolina. Game 1 saw Carolina win 6-3. Raanta beats Samsonov, as some people call him. Washington goes by John Carlson, Alex Ovechkin, and Nick Dowd. Jesper Fast, Jesper Kotkaniemi, Josh Levo. I think he's Kitchener, yeah. Josh Levo, yeah. Ethan Bear, Vincent Trocheck, and Sebastian Ahoka. Goals, Buffalo, LA. Game 1 saw Buffalo in overtime. Craig Anderson beats Cal Peterson. LA goes by Victor Arvidsson, Dustin Brown, Andreas Edvisu, and Arvidsson his second. Jeff Skinner, Kitchener. Kyle Pozo, Hani Jokiharu, and Alex Tuck in regulation. Okposo his second goal from Hino Straw and Tage Thompson. Calgary beat Boston in overtime 2-1. Vladar beat Olmark. Boston goal by Pasternak, but Calgary. Matthew Tkachuk and Andrew Mangiapane from Goudreau. Columbus crushed Anaheim 6-2 as Merskins beats Gibson. Aston Reese and Comtois for Anaheim. Columbus goals by Patrick Laine, Boone Jack Rosalick, Gustav Nyquist, and Gustav Nyquist. Pittsburgh, Nashville. Nashville in overtime 3-2 as Saros beat Casey DeSmith. Nashville goals in regulation by Peter Tomasino, and Roman Josi. Pittsburgh goals by Jake Gensel and Brian Rust. We have Philip Forsberg scoring in overtime on the power play after Gensel got in the box by interference. Colorado St. Louis. Colorado won in overtime 6-5. Frank Coors beats Husso. Colorado goes in regulation. McKinnon, Rantanen, McKinnon again. Landeskog, Kitchener, and Nazem Kadri. Kitchener ×2. St. Louis goes by Brandon Saad, Robert Thomas, Ivan Barbashev, and Nick Walker. Overtime goal by Rantanen, his second from Nikushin and Makar at 3:32. Vancouver, Florida saw Florida win 4-2 as Demko lost to Bobrovsky. Vancouver had a 2-0 lead and goals by JT Miller and Elias Pettersson. But Florida goes Mackenzie Weegar, Sam Reinhart, Frank Furtado, and Sam Bennett. Montreal, Detroit sees Detroit win 5-4 over Montreal. Nigel Kovac beats Montalban. The name of the last name, the long named goalies. Detroit had a 3-0 lead. Lucas Rabin, Carter Rowney, and Robbie Fabry. I think Fabry? No, he wasn't a Kitchener Ranger. I thought he was. But Marcus Remsen and Dylan Larkin for Detroit. Montreal goals by Cole Caulfield, Ryan Perling, Matthew Perreault, and Josh Anderson. Mr. Anderson. I think it was. I don't think Robbie Fabry was a Kitchener Ranger. I keep thinking he was, but he's not. Guelph. Yeah, he was with Guelph at the time. Yeah, he was Guelph. That's what I'm thinking. Seattle, Arizona to wrap up game ones. Arizona won 3-2 as Dreiger lost to Prosetov. Arizona goals by Nick Schmaltz, Kyle Capobianco, and Logan Krause. Seattle goals by Yanni Gord and Brandon Tanev. Game 2, San Jose, Minnesota starts off. And it's Minnesota who will win game 2, 2-0. Cam Talbot with a shutout. Freddie Gaudreau and Jarrett Spurgeon with the goals. Ottawa beats Tampa in overtime 4-3. Gustafsson, the winner over Elliott. That can't be Jonas Gustafsson. Tampa goes in regulation. Russ Colton, Braden Point, and Brandon Hagel from Kitchener, Ontario. Hagel. Ottawa goes by Pat Kelly, Tim Stützle, and Connor Brown. But in overtime, Brady Tkachuk at 12-13 from Stützle and Tyler Ennis did their job. Devils Rangers. Devils tie it up 4-3. Hammond beats Georgiev. Devil goals by Nico Hischier, Jirka Kukkonen, Hischler, and then Jimmy Feasey. Ranger goals by Braden Schneider, Patrick Nemeth, and Chris Kreider. Chicago beat the Oilers in overtime. Colin Delia beats Sorokin. Chicago goals in regulation by Ryan Carpenter, Patrick Kane, and Alex DeBrincat. Other goals by Cal Clutterbuck, J.G. Pachot, and Noah Dobson. Overtime goal and power play. Sedero Chara got a 5-minute major for boarding. Dylan Strome from DeBrincat. Edmonton beats Dallas 4-1 in game 2. Stuart Skinner beats Scott Wedgwood. Dallas's only goal was by Lucas Glendening. Connor McDavid scored, then C.C. Hyman and Draisaitl. Toronto Winnipeg, game 2 saw Toronto with the shutout win. Calgren with the shutout over Hellebuck. Bunting, Mikhailov, Matthews, Tavares, Riley, Kerfoot. 6 different Leafs scoring the win for the Leafs. Carolina will take a 2-0 lead over Washington as Freddie Anderson beats Vanacek. Washington goals by Ovechkin with 2 and Leeson. Carolina goes Turf Vanayan, Martinuk, Nino Niederreiter, and Sebastian Ahoka. Game 2, Buffalo LA. LA wins in overtime to get one back. Peterson beats Lukinen. LA goals in regulation by Alex Iavalo and Anthony Shu. Tage Thompson and Kyle Posel tied it at 2, but then Philip Danault at 2:07 from Doughty and Kopitar. Calgary beat Boston 4-1. They're up 2-0. Markstrom beats Ullmark. This is not the 65-win Bruins. This is a different Bruins team. Only goal for Boston was Taylor Hall. Calgary goes by Elias Lindholm, Marcus Backlund, Brett Ritchie, and Chris Tanev. Anaheim Columbus. Game 2 saw Columbus all over Anaheim 8-1. Musculins over Kitchener's John Gibson. Only Anaheim goal was Cam Fowler, and that was like a minute left. Columbus 8 straight goals. Sillinger, Boquist, Jenner, Nyquist, Borkstrom, Laney, Robinson, and Bean. Cornucopia players. Pittsburgh with the shutout over Nashville, 5-0. Tristan Jarry with the shutout over Saros. Kapanen, Rodriguez, Pedersen, Rustin, Raquel with goals. Crosby got a pair of assists. And no goals. Colorado beat St. Louis. They're up 2-0. Frank Coors beats Husso. Perron and Falk for St. Louis. Kadri, Kitchener, McKinnon, Rantanen, and Cole Makar with goals for the Avalanche. Vancouver, Florida. Vancouver wins in overtime, 1-1 tie. Demko beats Bobrovsky. Vancouver goals in regulation by Polsko, Brock Besser, and Lamico. Florida goes by Owen Tippett, Frank Toronto, and Carter Verhaeghe. But in overtime, Elias Pettersson is second of the playoffs from JT Miller and Tanner Pearson, New Hamburg. Not Kitchener. Detroit, overtime over Montreal. They're up 2-0. Najalik beat Jake Allen. Montreal goals by Romanoff, Josh Anderson, and Nick Suzuki. Detroit, Jakob Ferrana with 2, and then Giovanni Smith, Kitchener. Power play after Caulfield was off for slashing. Robbie Fabry, his second from Lindstrom and Lucas Raymond. Arizona beat Seattle going up 2-0 in overtime. The makeup beats Grubauer. Arizona goes by Costa Spare, goal spare as I call him, Andrew Ladd and Nick Smith. Seattle goes by Ryan Donato, Yanni Gourde, and Ryan Donato. But Tyler Boyd in overtime at 14:24 from Schmaltz and Churchin. And the other game, too, saw Vegas take a 2-0 lead over the Flyers. Robin Leonard in overtime against Jones. Martin Jones. I don't think that's Martin Jones. But anyway, Vegas 4-3. Vegas goes by Jack Eichel, Nicholas Watt, Jonathan Marshall in overtime. In regulation, JVR, Jason Roomstead, Cam Atkinson, and Scott Ladd in regulation for Philly. But in overtime, William Carlson at 15-11 from Nolan Patrick. Game 3s, Tampa, Ottawa. And Tampa will take that seriously. In overtime, Vasilevsky beats Forsberg. Tampa goes by Zach Bogosian, Anthony Cirelli, Corey Perry in regulation. Austin Watson with 2 goals, Kelly with the other one. But in overtime, it was Killorn at 6:06 from Hedman and Sergachev, I should say. Devils Rangers, who takes control of that series? The Rangers shut out by Shesterkin over Dawes. McCaig, Zibanejad, and Strome with the goals. Islanders Chicago. Islanders avoid the elimination. Sorokin with the shutout over Lankinen. Islanders lead Brock Nelson, and 2 goals by Zach Parise did the trick. Dallas beats Edmonton 6-4. Wedgwood beats Koskinen. Edmonton goes by Evander Kane, Darryl Ryan, Connor McDavid again, and Evan Bouchard. But Dallas goes by John Klingberg, Jason Robertson again, Peterson, Tyler Seguin, and Robertson to finish the hat trick. Winnipeg wins 6-3 and avoids the sweep. Jack Campbell losing to Calder Heidelbach. Toronto goes by Mitch Marner, David Kampf, and John Tavares. Winnipeg goes by Pierre-Luc Dubois, Kyle Connor, Mike Scheifele, Kyle Connor, Blake Wheeler, and Paul Stastny. Washington, Carolina. Carolina wins the first sweep. Anderson beats Samsonov. Washington had to go by Orlov. Ovechkin's out. Martinuk, Aho, Terverdinian, Aho, and Slavin with the goals. LA beats Buffalo 4-3. Cal Peterson again beats Craig Anderson. Buffalo goes by Dylan Cousins, Victor Olofsson, and Kitchener's Jeff Skinner. LA goes by Xkivia, Philip Deneau, Andre Kempe, and Arvidsson, his third. And Calgary sweeps Boston. Big win for them. Allmark losing to Markstrom. Patrice Bergeron, the only goal for Boston. Calgary goes by Sean Monahan, Elias Lindholm, Mangiapane, and Gebrenson. That's a mouthful. Boston only scored 3 goals in those 3 games. That's hard to believe. Columbus sweeps Anaheim with a shutout by Tarasov. I think he was the guy who died in that freak off-ice incident on the 4th of July, Tarasov. But anyway, Jenner and Berkstadt were the heroes against the Ducks, who only scored 3 goals themselves. Nashville beat Pittsburgh in overtime. Rittich beats Tristan Jarry. Pittsburgh goals by Jason Zucker, Brian DeMullen, and Jake Getzel. No points by Crosby. Nashville goals Carrier, Tomasino, Ryan Johansson, and an overtime by Taylor Jeannot at 6:35 from Sisons and Duchesne. Colorado cannot get the sweep. St. Louis wins in overtime. Husso beats Kemper. Colorado goals by Darren Helm, Cole Makar, David Kinnan, and Nicola Aube-Kubel. St. Louis goals by Ryan O'Reilly, Vladdy Tarasenko, Pavel Buchnevich, Tarasenko again, and then in overtime by Braden Shen from Perron and Scandella. Vancouver beats Florida 4-3 as Demko beats Borowski. Vancouver goes by Dowling, Horvat, JT Miller, and Besser. Florida goes by Lula Starnin, Maman, and Forsling. Detroit completes the sweep over Montreal as Najiblik beats Montembeault. Montreal goes by Edmondson, Caulfield, Hoffman, and Suzuki. I think Mike Hoffman is from Kitchener, but he didn't play for the Kitchener Rangers. That's why I don't say Kitchener. From Detroit goes by Dylan Larkin, Tyler Bertuzzi, Dylan Larkin finishes off a hat trick, Tyler Bertuzzi, and then Rasmussen. And Seattle beats Arizona. They'll keep alive. Grubauer beats Virginia. 2 goals by Seattle. Christian Susie and Jordan Eberle. Boyd for Arizona. Vegas sweeps Philly 3-0 as Lerner with a shutout over Hart. Riley Smith, Nicola Waugh, and Mike Abadil scored. And the Wild win in overtime. Marc-Andre Fleury beats Kakkonen. San Jose goals by Mark Vlasic, Barbanoff, Brett Burns, and Tim O'Meyer. Minnesota goals by Kevin Fiala, Jason Merrill, Duhaime, Matt Zuccarello, and then in overtime by Kaprizov from Marcus Foligno and Freddie Gaudreau. The Game 4s. Will the Rangers do their Game 4? Yes, they will. 6-2. Shizurka beats Dawes. Great job. Devils were up 2-0 on goals by Sharagovic and Michael McLeod. But the Rangers scored Adam Fox, Mika Zibanejad, Bartry Goudreau, Zibanejad his second, and then Goudreau puts up the hat trick to sink the Devils and put the Rangers into the Sweet 16. Islanders shut out Chicago again in Chicago. Corey Schneider they shut out. So the Islanders have to go home. They have yet to give up a goal in 6 periods. Anders Lee, Brock Nelson, Matt Martin, Anders Lee, and Barzal. Dallas beats Edmonton, sinks their chances. Wedgwood beats Koskinen. Draisaitl for Edmonton, but Hakanpää, Ryan Sutter, and J.B. Benn sink the Oilers. The Leafs in overtime over Winnipeg. Joseph Woll gets a win over Hellebuck. Winnipeg goals by Blake Wheeler, and Josh Morrissey, but goals by Willie Nylander, Mitch Marner, and overtime by Wayne Simmons from Morgan Riley. And the Leafs are on to round 2. The Kings as well, 5-2. Johnny Quick beats Tokarski. And I hate that guy so much for what he did at the 08 World Cup fucking over Kitchener. Sorry, that's how I feel. Buffalo goals by Tage Thompson and Kyle Oposo. By the Kings, Andre Campa, Ozzy Kopitar, Moore, and then 2 goals by Deneau. Nashville wins in overtime for Pittsburgh and sinks them. Saros beats Jari. Pittsburgh goals by Malkin, Crosby, and Rust. Crosby only got 1 goal, that's it. Nashville, Ryan Johansson, Colton Sisons, Ryan Johansson, and then overtime, Philip Forsberg at 6:21 from Benning and Duchesne. St. Louis wins 4-2 and forces a Game 5 back in Denver. Husso beats Kemper. Colorado goals by Nick Aube-Kubel and Mikko Rantanen, but St. Louis put up 4 goals. Hat trick by Justin Falk. He's a defenseman. Tarasenko picked up his 3rd as well. Florida wins in overtime over Vancouver, forces Game 5 back in Vancouver as Connor Martin lost to Bobrovsky. Vancouver goes by Brock Besser, 2 of them. Mammon and Mason Marchand, the double M's for Florida scoring regulation, but Gustav Forsling 52 seconds into overtime from Montour and Lundell. And Arizona sinks Seattle 2-0 shutout by Verjumka over Grubauer. Nick Ritchie with both goals. The other Game 4 sees Minnesota win 4-2 to win their series. Marc-Andre Fleury beats James Reimer. Sharks goals by Logan Couture and James Dolan. Eriksson Ek with 2 goals. Freddie Gaudreau and Matt Dumba with the others. And the last game 4, Ottawa beats Tampa. They forced a game 5 back in Tampa. And Tom Forsberg beats Vasilevsky. Ottawa was up 3-0. On goals by Gambale, Alex Formenton, he should not be named, and Drake Brafferson. Tampa goals, Corey Perry, Brady Point, Alex Killorn, and Ryan McDonough. Ottawa did get one, Connor Brown, but in overtime, Brady Tkachuk at 2:32 from Bandstrom and Soup. And both his goals have been overtime game winners, I believe. So anyway, we got game 5's up the yin-yang. Islanders Chicago starts our coverage, and the Islanders come back from 2-0 down to beat the Blackhawks. Varlamov beats Lankinen. DeBrincat scored for Chicago, but it was too little too late as Anders Lee and Brock Nelson were the heroes for the Islanders. And we'll move on to the round of 16. 3 more game 7s, Colorado St. Louis. And it will be Colorado who wins on home ice. Kemper beats Husso. St. Louis goes by Barbashev, Ryan O'Reilly, and Tarasenko. By Colorado goes by Obe Kubel. Mikko Rantanen, JT Comfort, and then Obe Kubel again. Obe Kubel, what a name. The two games set, final games will be by Canadian teams. Vancouver will lose to Florida. Bobrovsky beats Stamkos. Connor Garland scored for Vancouver, but Brandon Montour, Ryan Lomberg, and Curtin Verhaeghe for Florida. Does Ottawa fall flat too? The answer is yes, they do. 3-1. Vasilevsky beats Gustafsson. Only goal by Ottawa was by Soup. Brady Point, Anthony Cirelli, and Kudra finally scoring a goal. And that's it. We are done. Final 16 time. We have Florida versus the Islanders, Rangers versus Tampa. Oh, that's a tough one. Toronto, Dallas, Calgary, Arizona, Nashville, LA, Detroit, Minnesota, Carolina, Colorado, and Vegas, Columbus. So 2 Canadian teams are left. That's all. In the best of 5, round of 16. First game goes to Florida over the Islanders, 8-2. Spencer Knight takes down Varlamov. 2 goals for the Islanders, Brock Nelson and Cal Clutterbuck, but the Panthers score 8. Ludosteinen, Verhaeghe, Maman, Ekblad, Fratrano, Lundell, Duclair, and Joe Borden. That's right. I forgot he played for Florida that time. Rangers Tampa game 1 sees the Rangers went 4-2. Shesterkin beats Vasilevsky. Tampa goes by Kucherov and Cirelli. Ranger goals by Ryan Lindgren, Chris Kreider, Kevin Rudy, and then Kreider his second of the night. Toronto will lose in overtime to Dallas. Wedgwood beats Wool. Toronto goals by David Kump, Wade Simmons, Austin Matthews, and Ilya Mikheyev. Dallas goals Ruby Hintz, Luke Lindell, and then in overtime on the power play with Simmons in the box, Peterson from Robertson. Calgary will lose to Arizona. Bojemka, another shutout. Stolman, Goldsberry, and Cruz are your heroes. Canada might be fucked. Well, it is best of 5 though. Nashville beats LA 5-2. David Rittich beats Johnny Quick. LA goes by Andre Kempe and Philip Deneau. Philip Forsberg, Trny, Tomasino, Taylor Janot, and Taylor Janot. What are the goal scorers? Minnesota shuts out Detroit. And it was Cam Talbot with the shutout over Nashville. Nick Bouskard, Jared Spurgeon, and Josh Greenway, I guess, with the goals. Colorado beat Carolina 5-3 in game 1. Kemper beats Alex Lyon. Colorado goals by Alex Newhook, Audrey Burkowski, Devin Tays, Mariko Rantanen, and Cole Makar. Carolina goes by Tervalainen, Seth Jarvis, and Sheshnikov. And game 1 winner, Vegas, crushing Columbus 5-1. Robin Leonard beats JF Berube. Columbus goes by Patrick Laine, his third. Riley Smith, Chandler Stevenson. Nick Hague, the man from Kitchener. William Carlson and Jonathan Marchessault. Game 2, Rangers Tampa. Start off our coverage. Tampa wins 4-3. Vasilevsky beats Shesterkin. Ranger goals by Chris Kreider. Mika Zibanejad and Chris Kreider. He's got 6 now. Corey Perry, Brandon Point, Alex Killorn, and Alex Killorn with the winning goal. 1-1. Dallas beats Toronto. Toronto is really in trouble. Mrazek losing to Auditor. Austin Matthews scored for Toronto, but it's not enough. Joe Pavelski, Taylor Seguin, Guriev, and then Peterson with 2 goals for Dallas. I want to know what that guy Peterson's name is. Jacob Peterson. Okay, thank you. Calgary crushes Arizona to split the first 2 games. Markstrom takes down Vejemka. Arizona goal by Logan Krause, but Calgary got to Vejemka. Elias Lindholm with a natural hat trick. He's got 5. Matthew Tkachuk, Anders Ruzicka, Dylan Dubé, and Keelington. Scoring. Game 2's sees LA crushing Nashville in the fine powder 7-3. Cal Peterson beats Yossi Saros. Nashville goes by Matt Duchene, Tanner Shiro, and Marcus Granlund. Kings goes by Philip Deneau, Anthony Zizu, Andre Kempe, Brandon Lemieux again, Lassat, and then Anif Seyu. Game 2 sees Detroit go for the split, 2-1. Nature Lights beat Talbot. Minnesota go by Merrill, Robbie Fabry, and Michael Rasmussen for Detroit. Colorado wins in overtime over Carolina. They're up 2-0. Kemper beats Ranta. Carolina got Nino Niederreiter and Andrei Svechnikov, but Alex Newhook, Nazem Kadri, Kitchener, and Cole McCarr has 4 from Nikushin. What's the overtime heroics? Vegas wins 6-4. They're up 2-0. Laurent Brosseau against Merliskins. Columbus, Patrick Laine over Bergstad, Zach Werenski, and the Bergstad again. But Vegas 6 straight goals. Mike Abdil, Matt Pacioretty, Alec Martinez, Matthias Yamar, Braden McNabb, and Rungeberg. And finally, the last game 2, Florida crushing the Islanders in the fine powder 7-2. Barbowski meets Varlamov. 2 goals by the others, Brock Nelson and Noah Thompson. Florida goes by Sam Bennett, Sam Reinhart, Ekblad, Bennett again, Alex Barkov, Jonathan Huberdeau, and Russ Lundberg. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 teams that can end it in 2 straight. Does Dallas end Toronto season? Yes, they do. 5-4. Wedgwood beats Jack Campbell. Toronto goes by Austin Matthews, John Tavares, Matthews again, and Andre Caserai. So Matthews had 6 goals, but he's over. Sagan, Hintz, Peterson, Hintz. So Ruby Hintz with 2 goals. Tyler Sagan with 2. Calgary, Arizona, game 3 sees Arizona in overtime. Vejemka beats Markstrom. Calgary goes by Manjapani, Monahan, and Milan Lucic. 3-1, but they couldn't do it. Nick Schmaltz, Braden Hayden, and Anton Stroman. Overtime saw a power play goal after Lucic got in trouble for boarding. Krause is 4 from Hayden and Ghost Bear. Nashville beats LA 4-1. Saros beats Peterson. Moore scored for LA, but Duchene scored twice. Toivonen and Johansson with singles. Minnesota beats Detroit 3-2. Talbot beats Grace. Minnesota goals by Max Zuccarello, Kevin Fiala, and Eriksson Ek. Robbie Fabry and Adam Earn for Detroit. Colorado, do they sweep? No, they don't. Carolina wins 6-2. Freddie Anderson beats Fred Coors. Colorado goes by Sam Girard with both. Carolina goes by Braden Shea. Remember him? Mac Nikas, Francis Trocheck, Nikas, Seth Jarvis, and Nino Niederreiter. Vegas, do they sweep? Yes, they do. 5-1. Is your final? Lerner beats Korpisalo. Dadonov, Shea Theodore, Mark Stone, Adam Pietrangelo, Nick Hague. For Vegas, Columbus, Boquist. Florida, do they sweep? Yes, they do. 6-5. Prolongation. Bobrovsky beats Varlamov. Others were up 4-0. Brock Nelson, Zach Parise. Brock Nelson with a hat trick. He had 10 goals. But unfortunately, Florida came back with 5 straight. Sam Bennett, Carl Verhaeghe, Jonathan Huberdeau, Sam Bennett, and then Jonathan Huberdeau. Noah Dobson, with 19 seconds left, had to score. But in overtime on the power play, thanks to Kiefer Bellows, son of Brian Bellows, Kitchener Ranger, Barkov from Montour and Veterano iced it. And the last game 3, we have the Rangers beat Tampa 3-2. Shosturkin beats Vasilevsky. Rangers goals by Alex Lafreniere with 2, and Kreider with his 7. Kucherov and Hedman for Tampa. So 5 game 4s First one sees Arizona eliminate Calgary 4-3 from Gemka beats Markstrom. They're in the quarterfinals. Calgary goes by Oliver Kylington, Elias Holm, and Milan Lucic. Arizona goes by Clayton Keller, Nick Schmaltz, Alex Galchenyuk. Overtime power play goal by Nick Ritchie after Blake Coleman got in trouble for spearing. Goal spare and Kessel with the assist. Kessel, has he scored for the Arizona? I don't think so. Nashville wins in overtime to eliminate LA. Cyril speaks quick. Tanner Sherrow with a goal. Philip Forsberg with the overtime goal on the power play after Dustin Brown got in trouble for roughing. LA goal by Lassat and Philly Deneau. Minnesota crushes Detroit in the Flying Powder 7-2 to move on to the quarters. Fleury beats Nedeljkovic. Sam Gagner and Frank Horanek for Detroit, but Minnesota goes by Kaprizov, Bergstad, Hartman, Kaprizov. Kaprizov ends a hat trick. Ryan Hartman with 2 goals. Fiala. Colorado wins 6-1 on Carolina. Will move on themselves. Kemper beats Ranta. Shafterkoff did score for Carolina, but 6 straight goals for Colorado. Logan O'Connor, JT Comfort, Curtis McDermott, Mikko Rantanen, and Kitchener's own Nazem Kadri. Rangers, can they complete this? No, they don't. Tampa wins 3-2 and forces a Game 5 back in New York. Georgiev, Vasilevsky. Tampa goals by Alex Barbre, Alex Killorn, and Steven Stamkos finally on the board. Ranger goals by Philip Cheeto and Ryan Strom. One Game 5. Who will it be? It will be the Rangers. Adam Huska was put in net against Vasilevsky, and the Rangers win. Rangers were up 3-0. Tampa goals by Andre Palat, Nikolai Kucherov, and Pierre-Edmond Bellemare. By Ranger goals by Capo Caco, Jacob Trouba, Mika Zibanejad, and Barclay Goodrow. The former Lightning sinks Tampa. We are in the quarterfinals. Best of 5. Rangers will take on Nashville, Florida, Colorado, Arizona, Vegas, and Minnesota, Dallas. Key matchups: Florida, Colorado, the 96 final revisited. Arizona, Vegas, the battle of the Sun Belt, and Minnesota, Dallas. Minnesota used to have a team before Dallas swiped it away thanks to fucking Norm Green. Alright, Rangers, Nashville, Game 1. Sees that Rangers strike first. Shashur can beat Rittich. Nashville go by Trny, but Strome, Kreider, K'Andre Miller finally scoring a goal, and Andrew Kopp scoring a goal for the Rangers. Colorado beat Florida 3-2 as Kemper beats Spencer Knight. Colorado goals by Devin Tays, Mikko Rantanen, and the Rantanen's ninth, Huberdeau and Bennett for the Panthers. Arizona in overtime over Vegas, Prosetsov in net against Robin Lerner, and they win. Arizona was up 3-0. Logan Krause, Fisher, and Gosper with the goals. Mark Stone, Nicola Watt, and Jack Eichel tied it up by a shorthanded goal by Nick Schmaltz from Clayton Keller. And the Diamondbacks, I was going to say Diamondbacks, I mean the Coyotes win Game 1. And finally, we have Dallas going to Minnesota winning 4-1. Braden Holtby finally putting an appearance in net over Marc-Andre Fleury. Eriksson Ek for his 4th goal for Minnesota, but Dallas goals by Jason Robertson, Ruben Hintz, Taylor Seguin, and then Robertson his 5th. So 3 guys with 5 goals for Dallas. Game 2 of Florida, Colorado lights off, and Florida 1-0. Knight beats Kemper, and Barkov, the only guy to score from Fortin and Reinhardt. That's a weird way of scoring. That's weird. Vegas beats Arizona in overtime again. Lerner beats Verjemka. Arizona goals by Jake Churchin, Anton Stoneman, and Ryan Dzingel. Vegas goals by William Carlson, Jonathan Marshall, Alec Martinez, who left it late, and then Max Pacioretty, 4:45 of overtime from Nicola Waugh. Minnesota will split with Dallas 5-2. Cam Talbot beats Wedgwood. Minnesota 4 straight goals. Eriksson Ek, Boldy, Hartman, and Fiala. Hartman would score his 5th later on. Dallas 2 goals. Peterson and Hintz. And finally, we have the Rangers now up 2-0. 4-2 win. Shashurkin beats Saros. New York goals by Ryan Strome with 2. Zibanejad and Lafreniere. Nashville goals by Tomasino and Roman Yossi. So, the Rangers are the only team that are up 2-0 in the best of 5. Game 3, Arizona beats Vegas 4-1 as Verjemka beats Lerner. Amadeo scored for Vegas, but Nick Schmaltz with a hat trick for Arizona has got 7 now, and Tyler Boyd the other goal. Game 3 of Minnesota Dallas. Dallas wins in overtime on home turf. Onshore beats Talbot. Minnesota goes by Ryan Hartman with a hat trick. He's now got 8. Jason Robertson, Joe Pavelski. Pavelski scoring that power play goal. Boldy was in box. Peterson, his 7th from Robertson. Who is this Peterson? Jacob Peterson? Oh yeah, I talked about him. Rangers, do they sweep the series? Yes, they do. They sweep Nashville and will move to the semifinals. Shishirkin to hero. Nashville goes by Matt Duchene and Michael Granlund, but Barclay Goodrow, Dryden Hunt. And then in overtime at 9:20, Sabetajad from Kopp and Kreider. And the Rangers are semi-bound. The last game 3 sees Colorado crush Florida 7-3. Kemper beats Bobrovsky. Florida goals by Sam Bennett, Anthony Duclair, and Alex Barkov. Colorado goals Nate McKinnon, Billy Nikushin, Eric Johnson, Gabe Landeskog, Kitchener, Mikko Lorenzen in his 10th, J.T. Comper, and Chris McDermott. Game 4, does Dallas win the series? Yes, they do. 5-1. Holt beat Talbot. Dallas is semi-bound, like the Rangers. Minnesota only goal was Kaprizov. Lucas Glendening, Joe Pavelski, Lucas Glendening, Jason Robertson, and John Klingberg are your goal scorers. Colorado, do they go through? Yes, they do. 3-2. Kemper beats Bobrovsky. Florida goes by Sam Reinhart and Anthony Duclair. Colorado goes by Cole McCarr, Eric Johnson, and Nate McKinnon. And Arizona, do they win the series in 4? No, they don't. Vegas forces Game 5 back in Arizona. Brossois beats Frajemka. Anton Stroman scored for Arizona. Completely over there. William Karlsson, Nicola Watt, Alex Pietrangelo, and Jonathan Marchessault for Vegas. Who wins Game 5 and will join the Rangers, Colorado, Dallas in the Final 4? It's Vegas. Lerner beats Frajemka. Arizona goes by Clayton Keller and Tyler Boyd, but Vegas goes by Ronchberg, Shea Theodore, and Jonathan Marchessault. So we're down to the Final 4. It will be Vegas versus Dallas and Colorado versus the Rangers. Tight series all around. Colorado, the 2022 Stanley Cup champs in real life, against the Rangers, who should have went to the Stanley Cup against the Avalanche, but somehow, some way, they lost to Tampa. Anyway, Vegas-Dallas Game 1 sees Dallas strike first. Wedgwood beat Lerner. Vegas got a goal by Pacioretty, but Stredinick, Glendening, Radulov finally scoring goal, and Rupe Hintz. Game 1, Colorado Rangers, and it was Colorado striking first. Kemper beat Georgiev. Panarin scored his second in the playoffs, but Burakovsky and then Cole McCarr with 2 goals to get to 7. Rangers need Game 2, and they don't get it. 2-1. Kemper beats Georgiev. Rangers got a goal by Dryden Hunt. Nada, you know what. But Rantanen and McCarr scoring for the Avalanche. Vegas wins 2-1 to split the first 2 games. Lerner beats Wedgwood. Vegas goals by Dadonov and Brent Halden. Jacob Peterson for Dallas is 8th. Game 3 between Vegas and Dallas to start. And Vegas wins 2-0. Lerner with a shutout. Ronchberg and Nicola Watt. Love you. Rangers win 5-4. They avoid a potential sweep. Georgiev beats Kemper. Love you, boys. Sam Girard, Lehkonen, Nassim Kadri his 5th, Kitchener, and Mikko Rantanen his 12th. Ranger goals, Lafreniere, Dryden Hunt, Phil Cheadle, Chris Kreider, and then Chris Kreider got his 10th of the postseason. Nice. What about the Rangers? Well, the Rangers win 4-2. Shishirkin beats Kemper, and it's game on. I think whoever wins Rangers Colorado should be given third. Well, whoever loses should be given 3rd place. So anyway, yeah. Colorado goes by J.T. Comper and Andre Lehkonen. Ryan Reeves scored for the Rangers. Alex Lafreniere scored 2. He's got 6. Barclay Goodrow's got 6. Meanwhile, Dallas wins 4-3 to split that series. Wedgwood beats Brosseau. Vegas goals by Marchessault, Zach Whitecloud, and Marchessault, 7. Tyler Seguin, Jacob Peterson, Jason Robertson, and John Klingberg, the heroes for the Stars. Both series are at 2-2. Game 5 sees Dallas win 4-3. Holtby beat Lerner. Vegas was up 3-1. Goals by Pacioretty and 2 by Marchessault. By Jacob Peterson, Tyler Seguin, Hakanpää, and Jason Robertson are your goal scorers. Game 5. Colorado wins 5-1 on home turf. Kemper beats Georgiev. Panarin scored for the Rangers, but Devin Tays, Ome Kubel, Newhook, and Kitchener's Nazem Kadri scoring. So, will the Rangers avoid elimination? They do! Overtime. Shosturkin beats Francoeurs. Adam Fox and Nikushin in the first period, but in overtime at 2:03, K'Andre Miller from Goudron Panarin. In a 2-1, we go to Game 7. And Vegas forces Game 7. Brossois beats Wedgwood. Vegas was up 4-0. Peter Angelo, Dadonov, Eichel, and Dadonov scoring. Dallas scored 3 straight. Nemestikov finally scoring goals. 2 of them. Glendening is 8. And then Mark Stone is iced it. 2 Game 7s. I've never seen that in the semifinals. Both series going to Game 7s. And boom. Overtime heroics. Dallas are going to this finals. Wedgwood beats Bristol. Dallas scored 3 straight. Vegas had 2 goals. Max Pacioretty and Chandler Stevenson, but Ruby Hintz and Tyler Seguin did it in an 8:05. Pavelski from Klingberg and Robertson in overtime. Dallas moves on. And who will they face? The Avalanche. Francoeurs beat Shosturkin. Rooney and Reeves scored for New York, but Colorado goes by Nate McKinnon, JT Comfer, Mikko Rantanen, and Burakovsky. So by process of how good the teams were, the Rangers will be given the 3rd place designation and not Vegas. So New York will get in the tournament, kind of. So let's take a look at Dallas and Colorado. Colorado, Desu Kemper 10-5, Pavel Francoeurs 3-2. So Kemper's been lifting the team. They had a tough time with St. Louis. The home team won every game in that series. Colorado beat Carolina in 4, Florida in 4. The Rangers and Colorado, every team won at home, so they had to deal with that. Nathan McKinnon's got 27 points. Mikko Rantanen 21. Kitchener's Nazem Kadri with 18. Landeskog got 14 goals. Rantanen has 13 of them. Logan O'Connor and Darren Helm, the only guys with just a singlet. Dallas, on the other hand, go with 3 goalies. Wedgwood's 8-4. Odgers 2-1. Braden Holtby's 3-0. They should put him in more. Dallas beat Edmonton in 4. Toronto in 3. Dallas in 4. So they didn't have any problems with Edmonton, Toronto, or Minnesota. Vegas gave them a scare. Jason Robertson with 20 points. Joe Velehowski with 19. Ruby Hintz with 18. Peterson's got 10 for Dallas. Guriev, Sutter, Lindell, Radulov, and Marian Studenik are the only guys with 1 goals. Let's look at the goal scoring. Rantanen's got 13. Peterson's got 10. Points-wise, McKinnon with 27. So he's looking like he's still point scorer. Shosturkin, best goalie, 10-2 with 189 goals against. They should have called him up more. Georgiev was just putrid at 1-5. What were they thinking? Well, anyway, Dallas, Colorado, champion. Well, Colorado won the Stanley Cup in real life. Dallas didn't do so well. I don't know what happened to Dallas in real life. Game 1 sees Colorado win 4-2 in Dallas. Kemper beats Wedgwood. Dallas goals by Jacob Peterson, 2 for 12, trying to get the goal scoring lead. Cole McCarr with 2 goals for 10. Nathan McKinnon his 8th, and Nikushin his 3rd. Game 2 sees Dallas split. Wedgwood beats Kemper. Colorado was up 3-0. Kadri, Kitchener with 2 goals for 8. McKinnon his 9th, Comper 7. But Dallas came back. Jamie Benn, Essa Lindell, Riley Dalani, Kitchener, Jason Robertson, and Joe Pavelski with the goals. Game 3 sees Colorado win on home turf 5-2. Kemper beats Wedgwood. Dallas goals by Taylor Seguin and Ruby Hintz. But Colorado scored Curtis McDermott, Kitchener's, Gabe Landeskog, Kadri, Kitchener ties 2, Burakovsky, and Devin Tays. Game 4 sees Colorado win 3-2, 1 win away. Kemper beats Wedgwood. Dallas goals by Jacob Peterson and Lucas Glendening. JT Comfort, Darren Helm, and Kitchener's Gabe Landeskog, the hero. I think all 3 Kitchener Colorado goals, the winning goal scorer was from the Kitchener Rangers, right? Where am I? No, McKinnon. There were no Kitchener goals in Game 1. Colorado has a chance. Can they sweep it? No, they don't. Dallas wins 6-1. Rantanen has 14 for Colorado, but Wedgwood beat Kemper again. Guriev, Ruby Hintz, Pavelski, Sagan, Robertson, and Peterson put up his 14th. Game 6 sees Colorado win 4-2 as Kemper beats Wedgwood, and Colorado does take home the title. Third straight win for a Western Conference team. Dallas goals by Ruby Hintz and Mark Raffle. Colorado goals Cole Makar, Gabe Landeskog, Kitchener, but not the winner. Makar, and then Rantanen on the power play, his 15th to be the goal scoring leader. And the Colorado Avalanche, using Makar as a lightning rod, beats Dallas in 6 games and wins the 2021-22 tournament, just like they did in real life with the Stanley Cup. Only the third time we've seen a Stanley Cup Stone Cold Hockey double. That's for sure. Anyway, I'm Jeff. I'm going to do.